Hey, rich friends, welcome to today's episode of the TMac Inspired Show. You guys are in for a treat. I'm going to be sitting down with my business bestie. Yes, I have a business bestie too. Her name is Dr. Tamara Neely, and she's also known as the NursePRAYneur. So go grab your business bestie, and I'll see you on the other side. Stay tuned. Finally got my BBFF on the show. Hey, girl.
Hey, hey, TMac, Dr. TMac, that is. Yes.
Oh my God. Why haven't you been on the show?
Yeah, I did my show. I was number one.
That is right.
And what happened?
Was it the audio or something didn't
it was
come
like
across?
An echo or something.
A real bad echo. When
yes.
you were going to be the first one on my show. That is right. Like last year.
When you first started it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. My bad.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, BBFF.
Hey, when it's your time, it's your time.
No.
So today is my time. So, I waited patiently. So I'm good. I'm good.
Listen, I want you to tell the world, tell everybody who's listening and watching who you are, what you do, and how you help people.
Well, my name is Dr. Tamara Neely. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I love helping people. I do a lot of government contracts, real estate, really heavy in real estate, because I think that real estate is the game changer for generational wealth and legacy building, because when you die, you can just pass that down for generations. So I've done anything related to housing and healthcare. So I've had licensed group homes, unlicensed group homes, multi-unit housing with assisted living, which is kind of a type of assisted living. I rent out my properties for Section 8 tenants. I believe in putting them in a better neighborhood that they couldn't afford. So every house that I've bought and stayed in personally, I put a Section 8 tenant in there for 2 of them. And then the third one, I decided to make that so I have 3 Section 8 tenants. And then I also believe in helping other entrepreneurs. So I let them use my property to open up an unlicensed and a licensed group home.
Yes.
So
major.
It just you make more money when you can use your property and put it to a business.
For sure. So how long have you been a nurse?
I became a nurse. Before I became a nurse, I actually had my very first business was around 2000. I was a childcare. I had a childcare agency.
What?
For a license, yeah, and an in-home daycare.
I didn't know that.
I know. A lot of people don't know. That was my very first taste of entrepreneurship.
So tell me about it. What happened?
Well, I got the license, and I knew where the money was at, and the money was in after school, because they only can go from 2 to 6. They don't get out of school until about 3 on the bus to get to my place about 3:30, 4 o'clock. So I only had to keep them for like 2 hours, but you got paid for the whole 4 hours.
Who paid you?
The government.
What?
Yes, they get the vouchers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. So was it? So how did that work though? How'd you get paid by the government?
So they get those vouchers, and so basically with the vouchers, then they would pay me at the end of the month.
Who? The people that got the vouchers?
Yes.
Okay.
So basically it was a state run program, which federal dollars. And so, so I used that, and then I had some private pay clients. And so I decided
You've been pimping the government
that.
for a long time.
Who's got the most money?
The government.
Okay. When we had... So their money doesn't run out. They can just go make more money.
They print more money
whenever they need it.
Come on.
So if you're gonna work for someone or have a relationship with someone,
a business partner need to be the government.
Exactly.
Okay. So how long did you do that?
I did that for like less than a year. So that was right before I started nursing school. So I decided that if I ever did it again, I would do it in a building, freestanding building.
What'd you do it in?
At my house. So
Oh, you did it at your house?
It was an in-home daycare, licensed, where you could do
Okay.
up to 6 children, and 8 if you're doing after school only.
Okay. So what made you decide that you want to be a nurse?
Because when I started college, I really wanted to be a PA, physician assistant. I didn't get in at Duke University because I didn't know that you had to have these prerequisites to work as like a CNA or just get that healthcare experience. And so something just hit me like, why don't you just do nursing? It has the flexibility, you know, when you have children. I think I was pregnant with Michaela, had her in 2000. And then I started nursing school from 2001 to 2003.
So you were an RN first.
I became a RN. I just went straight to
RN school.
I did the associate's program.
Okay.
And then from there, I went and got my bachelor's because, you know, they were talking about the magnet status. You need to have your BSN. So, you know, I like to be ahead of the curve and not when you be up under the 8 ball where you have to actually do it and you only got
When you're forced to do it. When you're forced to do it. It's different.
So, yeah, I said, let me do it on my time. So I went on and got that. And then I went one day to help out a lady with a home care agency just to do her soup visits. You know, so it's like maybe 30 minutes to do
What is a soup visit?
Supervisory visit.
Okay.
You know, where you go see a client that has Medicaid every 90 days. And so I needed nurses to get her caught up. And so I did it just that one day. And she told me how much money she made.
How much?
She had made over like $200,000-$300,000 in a year.
Wow.
And I'm like, wait, you a CNA?
And she was a CNA?
She was a CNA.
And you
I
did
was a nurse.
her
work. Yeah. And I'm like, well, the math wasn't mathing.
Mathing.
I was like, I'm finna open up me one because you need a nurse. I'm the nurse. So I'm gonna make money from the very beginning because
you're the nurse.
yes, I was able to open up when this happened like in May, I had my license by November. It takes about 5 to 6 months to get it.
Okay.
And I did those policies and procedures, got it, and took my patient. The first patient was actually someone that went to my church. And I had that client for about 8 to 10 years.
Wow.
Yes.
So you had what was it called?
It was a Home Care for the Carolinas is the name of my business that I still have. But I did what we call PCS, personal care services.
Okay, so in Florida, I believe it's non-medical home care. That's what it's called here. Okay, same thing.
Same
Okay.
thing, yeah.
Because I had a non-medical home care company.
And then we also did like CAP clients. So those basically are the same clients, but you just get more hours. So those clients are more suitable maybe for like an assisted living or nursing home.
So because you were licensed, you got paid Medicaid.
Medicaid rate. So they pay me from the jump. So I've always been in the positive because I was a nurse. And back then, you were able, so this is in 2006 that I opened up my home care agency. So in May, I'll be celebrating 17 years.
Wow.
17 years.
So, okay, so you did the in-home daycare, you went and got your RN, you started doing supervisory visits for
one
visit.
One day.
Okay, one day. And you asked her how much money she made.
But she told me, I don't even think I asked her. She just told me how much money she made. And I was like, whoa. And I know what I'm getting ready to do.
And so you immediately said, I'm applying for this type of licensure. This is what I'm going to do. How did you get into government contracts though? How did that start?
That was a friend of mine. She was it was the VA. They were actually getting ready to start this new program with contracts. They had what they call the GPD, which is grant per diem, but you have to have a nonprofit in order to do this. But this would be for for-profits or nonprofits. So we started going to meetings, interest meetings, and it took probably like interest meetings of like over a year and a half. My girlfriend started doing it, but the one that I wanted was the medical. but it's
You wanted to tie it in, to what you were already doing.
They had what they call the non-medical and the medical. And so I was like, the medical paid more money. So I was like, I'm gonna wait till that one comes out, then I'll apply, because I only have that one house that I own. And so my girlfriend, they end up getting extra beds, and so I didn't realize it until like later on. I was basically a subcontracting with her, getting the experience. And so she was like, you can have a house, go find your house. And I found a house that I could rent, but I saved my house for the medical bed. And I did that with the women. So I started off with I started off doing the VA houses with women. And then I was like, oh,
I ain't doing this.
I need to go. When I get my other one, I'm doing strictly men. Okay. And then I just transitioned from women to men.
Was it hard getting a government contract?
I have always got every contract I have applied for.
You got it.
Even with my nonprofit, I had Medicaid, HIV case management experience, but I didn't have it, so they used that experience. And so I was able to get my very first nonprofit grant as soon as I opened. It was brand new. Like, I opened it up and I waited to the next following year.
Do you think you were just in the right place at the right time? Or what do you think? Just divine? Was this divine? Was it a mix of, what do you think? Because I know, the reason why I'm asking, because I applied for a government contract. Remember?
Yes.
And I was the only one who applied. So I knew they were going to give it to me. And COVID happened. And they put the contract on hold. Remember that? When they put the contract on hold, some kind of way, when everybody was trying to figure out what was going to happen with COVID, the Salvation Army came in and underbidded me and got that contract.
Yeah. They're going to always go with, if they can, the cheapest. But also, if you're doing great services, they're going to have to pay you if they want to keep you. So that's where negotiation comes in. So I really feel like I've been blessed, and I really love what I do, and I want to get paid for what I do as well. So I would say, I don't know if it's divine. I just been in the right place at the right time,
seizing the opportunity.
Yeah. So when the opportunity is there, I'm going to take advantage of it.
I'm going to tell you what I hear. You didn't say it, but this is what I'm hearing. You always knew what you wanted, and you didn't say, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. If you saw something, you said, I want it, and then you did it.
Oh, yes.
You get what that's what I'm hearing.
Oh, yeah.
The different stories that you're telling, I'm hearing, she wanted it. She went and made it happen.
Yeah. I would consider myself a go-getter.
A doer.
Just give me the information. I'm going to research it, and I'm going to make it happen. Yeah.
That's what I hear. Okay. So let me see. Okay. So you're getting you're getting the government contracts, right?
Yes.
You're getting the grants. Which are separate.
Right.
Okay. Then what made you say, let me start buying more properties?
Because I knew that, they always say that every millionaire, billionaire in their portfolio, there's some type of real estate. Maybe different types. For me, it goes hand in hand with me. Why would I rent a place out? Because I don't have full control, or what we call site control of that property. That owner can
kick you out.
Yeah, and like, I'm going to sell my property. I got kicked out, remember? Yes.
My group on my head.
They tried to do it to me on one of my properties, and the only reason why they didn't do it, the family came and looked at it, and they said, oh, this is old. This is not what you told us. We don't want it. And I had already found another property. So I gave that property to my girlfriend, but that feeling of how it made me feel, I'm like, okay, I got to find another property, but I couldn't. What I ended up doing is I ended up adding additional 3 bedrooms and 1 bath to one of the properties that I had. So it's now like over 3,400 square feet. It's 7 bedrooms and 3.5 baths.
So I remember when the pandemic hit, there was like I don't know what you did, or you said something, you made a post or something about
Labs.
CLIA labs.
Who wants to learn how to
do a CLIA lab
to do COVID testing?
And you probably taught at least 1,000 nurses.
Yeah, I never kept up with it. I just asked God to give me these witty ideas because I wanted to become debt free. I didn't want it to get out of debt. And it just clicked. Like, they always say when there's a disaster or whatever, there's always opportunity. Right? And so it was just, I would say those from 2000, maybe 2001, I worked so hard doing that. I mean, it was just so many ideas that I had that that's the hardest I've ever worked in my business.
Really?
Because it was so many opportunities.
You talking about with COVID?
With COVID here, there were so many opportunities of, getting us grant money here or applying for this,
applying for that. Yeah.
Yes. And what I noticed is if you didn't have your business set up with the right foundations, and so when you're doing government contracts, you have to have everything set up properly.
So it's just easy to get all the money. Yes.
It was like, did you apply for this grant here? Did you apply for this? It was just so much money that was available in so many different programs. So I meant it like that. And then helping all these people, like you said, all over the U.S. to see people to use the CLIA labs and to get that money.
I know for sure.
Never made that much
money in their life.
In their businesses. Some of them had just opened up a business and
just
generated $500,000.
Right. So, I know for sure one person made over $1 million.
Oh, yes.
With the CLIA lab.
Yes. And they was able from that to buy properties. Say that was like a springboard for them to go to do whatever else they wanted. But it got them into it and like
a way better position.
Yes. And so some people didn't seize the opportunity. And so the opportunity was there. So then when some people, they come on the very end, so March of 2022 they like, okay, we're not paying for the test anymore.
The money dried up.
Because guess what? We sent the money over to war. Another country.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, the money dried up. And so a lot of people was like, man, I should have listened to you. I'm like, and I did it for Nurses Week. And I only charged them, guess what?
Was it like $39 or $49?
It was the year. Whatever the year. That was $20.21.
Something like that.
That was it.
They paid $20 and became a millionaire for $20.
Some of them, and I saw some of them that had took the course, they never done anything with it because the price was so cheap. They didn't do anything with it.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Why do you feel like people don't pay attention when something is free or cheap?
Because they have no skin in the game. They're not vested. But if I charged you, when I started charging them more, like 1,000 or 2,000, they were more invested.
So you went from $20 to how much?
To about 2,000. Because I had
the value.
Yeah, I already knew the value was there, but I hate when people pay for something and you don't use it. Like, why pay for it?
Right.
So I was like, and then we had receipts. People were making $500,000, $1 million, buying property,
$300,000. They were making a lot of money. Yeah, with the CLIA lab.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, we're gonna have to charge more. And so so I was definitely blessed with doing that. And now what I see is a lot of people wanting to have nonprofits. And getting those grants. So
what are you doing now? How are you helping people?
I still have my the NursePRAYneur business community, CEO community. So we just meet like once a month and kind of what we're teaching now is going over how to do a government contract. For your for-profit. And then if you're making a certain amount of income, it's best to form you a nonprofit.
So that's what y'all doing right now?
We're learning about government contracts. And they're going to actually apply because there's nothing with having the knowledge and you don't apply it. It's like, why get it and you're not going to go apply for a grant? That's how you have an opportunity to win. You got to get in the game and apply. So
what else you got going on?
That's about it. I'm just enjoying life. I'm traveling. You know, I'm back to where I'm going to go for this month. Traveling once a month. Just spending time with my family. Coming to spend like a week with my business, the bestie.
We have fun though.
Yeah, so just really enjoying. So I think this year, I always say, what am I going to do for my birthday? And I like to do different things. So, 1 year I got the concealed permit. 1 year I learned how to, have a motorcycle. I did that 1 year. And I was like, what do I want to do this year? I want to do something different. I think I want to do like 30 days of maybe meeting with someone, going out to eat with a family member or
something like that every day for 30
every
days.
Day.
You're going to be fat if you do that.
I do love eating, so I have to eat salad.
If you go out with somebody 30 days of dinner in a row, that's a recipe for disaster.
Look,
I'm just going to tell you that now.
Yes, but I want to do something different. But at least visiting, maybe we should just do like coffee or whatever. But I just want to do something different and do it for the whole month.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I think of something low carb to do.
Yes.
That's fun. Thank you so much for coming on. Is there anything else you want to tell my listening audience?
Yes, I guess we'll probably be doing something, right?
Oh,
we didn't even talk about what we do.
Yeah, how did we become business besties or whatever? Yeah.
Tell the story. How did we become business besties?
I didn't have a choice. You just said you're my business bestie, and I said I am.
You saw it on Facebook, right?
Yeah, I was like, me and my business bestie, Tasha McCray, and I was like, me? We business besties? We didn't have no what? We didn't have a conversation about it.
Look.
I didn't have a choice. That's how it happened. I mean, I didn't pick you. You picked me.
But you agreed, right?
I had no choice. I mean, it was out there. You put it out there.
Yeah, you could have said, "Oh no,
take that down." But no, so yeah, that's how it happened. But we met. We had so much in common when we met.
Yes.
Our husbands had a lot in common, and we just clicked. We clicked. We both kind of have the same business acumen.
Oh yeah.
We're both go-getters. We won't see something we want it, we make it happen. We like helping other people. We're both nurses, and so we had a lot of commonalities, so it worked. And then I had a unlicensed group home, and had done a class and asked you to come on and speak, and you did. But I still got that. That thing's still selling.
What?
Yes. So anyway, so I asked you to come on and speak. You did. And then one day my husband and I were out golfing, and you said, hey, I got an idea. And this was in the middle of COVID. You was like, I got an idea. And I was like, what? And you were like, I think we should travel the country and teach other people how to open up unlicensed group homes. I'm like, no, I do that online. I ain't doing that. And he was like, no. I said, I'm playing golf right now. He said, wait, just stop for 1 minute. Let's just talk about it. And I said, we're really literally had to stop playing golf. People that know golf know that you really can't stop playing golf because you have people that they're behind you. And so we had to let them play through us. They call it through them. I said, babe, just let them play through us. He was like, are you serious? Like, you really gonna take a business call on the golf course? I was like, yeah. And then that's how we started. And we literally just immediately formed a real business.
Yes.
And just started going around the country, teaching people how to open unlicensed group homes.
Because I was supposed to still travel every month. And I was like, okay, we're nurses. We know what to do and stay safe. So let's travel.
In the middle of a pandemic, we birthed that business. And everybody attended our conferences with masks on. Then we had masks with our logo on it. But nobody got COVID, thank God. Right. And they learned how to open up their own unlicensed group home. And it was just, I feel like when something is working and your help, I said it in the last podcast show I did, when something is working and you see it helping generations, like whole families, and you literally see it's because of something you helped somebody do, it looks different. You feel different. You feel better about yourself, right?
Oh, yes.
And that's what this is all about. Every single thing we do, if we feel like it's not helping somebody, we won't do it.
Right.
Some people are not like that. But I can honestly say, like, you know, everybody in our circle, we're like that. And we recognize if people aren't doing the work, we'll stop. We're like, because that's our energy wasted and their money wasted. So that's what I like about, we always come back to the table and say, okay, let's see what's working, what's not working, and let's fix the thing. So.
And we made a lot of money too.
Who Jesus, Lord, yes.
Our
Lord,
CPAs
yes.
was like, what are y'all doing?
Our CPAs thought we was dope dealers.
What y'all doing? It's COVID.
How y'all making all this money? Yeah, it was crazy. It was fun though.
It was.
But thank you for coming on.
Love you.
Love you. Thanks for watching today's episode of the TMac Inspire Show. If you enjoyed the show, do me a favor. Go ahead and click like, subscribe, share it, comment, you know, all those good things. Go, if you're on Instagram, you know, do the Instagram thing. If you're on YouTube, do the YouTube thing. If you're on Apple Podcasts, do the Apple Podcast thing. Leave me a review. Always remember that Dr. TMac says you can have it all. See ya.